Hello, my name is Collection Connoisseur. I collect digital thingamabobs and video games. Today I'm playing Monster Train. Today on Monster Train, in celebration of unlocking the final Covenant rank, I'm instead going to play on the bottom Covenant rank. And the reason I'm doing this is because we're going for another achievement run. Another achievement, another challenge run in this game. So for this one, what I'm going for is called the Ragtag Bunch. I have to win with 10 or less cards in my deck. Today I'm playing with the Awoken and the Stygian Guard. Last time we played as the Awoken Stygian Guard, we played with the exiled Awoken champion, so this time we're going to play as the original, the primary champion for the Awoken. And last time we played as the primary champion with the Awoken and the Stygian, we played with the primary Stygian as well. So this is a combination we've never done before. Primary Awoken, exiled Stygian. And the goal is to win the run with 10 or less cards in my deck. Let's go. So immediately you may wonder, why did I do this on Covenant Rank 1? Because Covenant Rank 1 we start with 5 additional cards in our deck that you wouldn't start with if you started on Covenant Rank 0. And the real answer to that is, I just really enjoy Covenant Rank 1. I think that this random starting card section is really fun. So I'm putting myself through an additional bit of challenge because I like getting random starting cards. But anyway, that means that we're going to start with 16 cards. We need to bring that down to 10 or less, and we want to remove a lot of our starting cards, including maybe these. These don't look like a great set of starting cards. Pyregrow we might keep in our deck, but I don't know that we're going to keep 2 Mollusk Mages in our deck. And as much as I like Razor Sharp Edge, we might not keep 2 of those in the deck either. We are going up against Daedalus the Professor with the Plated Seal, doesn't bother me. Spell the Wings of Light. Alabaster Guardians have Spell Shield 5. That's not great when you're playing as the Stygian Guard, especially with Mollusk Mages in your starting pool. And Seraph the Patient. Seraph attacks a return and applies melee weakness to your front unit. Gains attack on Rally and Incant. Alright, interesting set of problems for us to deal with. Let's try to deal with them. Okay, I am going to start with my champion upgrade. We could do the Sentient with Spikes 10. I don't mind that. Cultivating. We draw an extra 1 every turn. And on Revenge, we cultivate. Oh, interesting. I kind of like that one. Draw an extra 1 every single turn. That seems quite nice. Let's do cultivating. Let's gain our artifact. Our artifact is one of these. Split Anvil might be very interesting with a deck size of 10 or less, because we could essentially have the same hand every turn and know that we're going to spend so much on one spell and the rest of them be free. Priori's Cloak. Priori's Cloak is interesting always with the Awoken. I think I really like the Split Anvil possibilities, because if we have one 3-cost spell in our deck and every spell costs less than 3, then you just play your one 3-cost spell and the rest of your hand is free. I like that. Let's take Split Anvil. I think that might work well with the challenge. And let's go into the first battle. Okay, do we want a unit draft? We kind of do want a unit draft. And I say kind of because the more options the better. Even if we don't take the unit, the fact that we've seen more units, the better, because we need to get some units. I'm thinking at the end of the day, we probably want to have 3 units in the deck, and the rest of the deck be spells. And I don't think Sentient Mollusk Mage are the 3. So I'm definitely thinking about this. The Armor 10 is annoying. The Armor 10 is annoying. Razor Sharp Edge kind of helps with that. Let's turn it on. At the worst, we lose some health on our Pyre. Now we do want the Sentient probably at the bottom. The restores are doing nothing for us currently. We're probably going to want to remove those. We want you to die. The Apprentice of Light. We want you to die. I guess the best thing that we can do is do the Train Steward, probably? Yeah, the Train Steward. So the Train Steward goes back here. The Sentient goes out in front, gets the Revenge trigger, and then we play both of the restores because we can, not because they do that much. And then we foregone power to give 6 Frostbite to you. Not a great start. Not a great start. The Collector's at the top. We do want to kill the Collector. We could use our Pyre Grow. Is the Pyre Grow good yet? Not much. Also, the Mollusk Mages are pretty terrible when none of our starting things actually deal damage. It does make the restores better, but not by much. So the Mollusk Mage is going to go here. We know that much. We probably want to do a Train Steward at the top with a Razor Sharp Edge on it so that it can kill some things that go up. I think we want that. I think we want that. And then the real question is, do we even play Pyre Grow? I think we don't in this battle. So apply Frostbite to this one, and then don't play Pyre Grow. We are hoping to deal some damage to the one that's going up. We don't care if our Pyre takes a little bit of health worth of damage, but we don't want it to take a lot of health worth of damage. So what are we playing? The Mollusk Mage kind of doesn't fit at the bottom anymore. The bottom is already done. So we play a Train Steward at the top, I think. These are currently dealing 20 damage. If we did 2 Razor Sharp Edges, it would win. It would defeat you, right? So maybe we do 2 Razor Sharp Edges. Just make this back Train Steward really weak. So that kills the front one, and then we can foregone power here. Great. Good so far. You go up, you die. So we definitely want to play foregone power on the boss. Unless we just win this turn, which it doesn't look like we're going to win this turn. I don't see a way that the restores really help us win, but there's no reason not to play the restores. Because what are we going to do with them otherwise? Oh, and we're already winning. Great. Are we winning up here? Not currently. But I guess that doesn't matter because we win at the bottom. I guess it doesn't matter because we win at the bottom. Okay. Well, we win. No damage taken yet, but we do have a 16-card deck. That's too many cards. And we're probably going to add more after this fight. We want to remove cards, but we're probably going to start by adding cards. So I kind of like Sharpen. I'm thinking about cards that we would want to play every turn, and they would be good for us to play every turn. The Wildwood Sap, I think, is not something we want in a 10-card deck. The Vine Grasp, although interesting, I don't know if we want it in a 10-card deck. It would be the first spell that actually does damage, which is good because we've got the Mollusk Mages. but I think we take Sharpen. I don't mind having some spikes on our front unit. And then we could do Ice Tornado. The Permafrost doesn't do anything in a 10-card deck, but the 3-cost spell with the Split Anvil is kind of what I was looking for. And I think Ice Tornado is a pretty decent spell to have. So let's take the Ice Tornado. Now, the unit draft. We need to be very careful with what units we put in our deck. I like the Steel Singer. The main problem with the Steel Singer is it costs 3 to play, and it doesn't fit on the same floor as our champion. That's the problem. We could take the Stalwart Shell, or we could skip. I think the Steel Singer is too big. Especially because it doesn't have sweep or anything like that. Whereas Shattered Shell has sweep. It fits with our champion. Champion takes up 2 space. Stalwart Shell takes up 2 space. We can have 1 more unit. Currently that's a Mollusk Mage, but we probably don't keep that as the Mollusk Mage. I think I like the Shattered Shell. So that's one of our only units that we're going to have. I'm considering the Steel Singer and skip as well. Okay, Shattered Shell, one of the only units that we have. We now have a 19-card deck. We need to remove 9 of those cards. What I really want is 1 more unit. And what type of unit would we like? The problem with the Awoken units is a lot of them take up a lot of space, and we just don't have the space, and we probably shouldn't spend space on units. The Merchant of Magic is good. It's good especially because we don't have the units that we want. I think we're going to go left. We're going to go towards Stygian units primarily right now. The next one we're probably going to go right, probably, because the Concealed Caverns could do a lot for us. Okay, so we're going left. We're going to look in the Divine Temple, Extreme Stone and True Stone. How excellent. Because both of those could go on Ice Tornado and make the Ice Tornado absolutely ridiculous. I think we're going to do that. So Extreme Stone on Ice Tornado, True Stone on Ice Tornado. So there's our big damage spell. We could also Engage Pact the Mollusk Mage. I'm certainly thinking about that, because the Mollusk Mage has a decent effect on it. We just don't want it to be the Mollusk Mage in our deck. We have an Immortal Stone in here. That's not what we particularly care about. The Rune Stone isn't bad. The only thing about Rune Stone is if our champion is in front, then we don't really care. So maybe the only one that we might care about is Heartstone, and maybe not that much. So far we don't care too much about what's in there. Let's take the Stygian unit. So, one of the things that we could do is take Siren of the Sea in order to sacrifice it. Sacrifice it to one of the Mollusk Mages. So sacrifice a Mollusk Mage and sacrifice a Siren of the Sea. We certainly don't want Titan Sentry. The Titan Sentry kind of takes the place of our champion, and we want our champion to be in front, because the champion has the revenge ability. So I think we take Siren of the Sea, because it has a really good incant that we can put on a different unit with the essence. Okay, so I'm thinking that we have the units that we want. We've got the Sentient, we've got a Mollusk Mage, and we've got the Shattered Shell. Those are the units that we want. Now let's sacrifice one of them onto another one of them. So we're sacrificing the Mollusk Mage and the Siren of the Sea. We can only do one of those here. Which one do we do here? And which one do we put them on? The nice thing about putting Siren of the Sea on the Shattered Shell is that the Shattered Shell has sweep, so giving it lots of attack is good. Which means we could put the Mollusk Mage on the Mollusk Mage and just have a super Mollusk Mage. Alright, let's start with the Siren of the Sea, because that one doesn't fit. So we sacrifice this, put it on Shattered Shell. We're already at 50 pack shards. We are down to 19 cards again. Let's purge a card. And purging cards, we want to remove the Train Stewards, definitely, but also the Restores are pretty bad, and the Foregone Powers are pretty bad. How much do I want to remove a Train Steward versus a Foregone Power? I think Train Steward first. We're going to remove kind of everything, though, and I don't mind removing again. Let's get the numbers down initially a little bit. Alright, and we're taking none of those. We're looking for better stuff. Let's go into the next battle. We are at threat level high. Non-boss enemy units enter with spikes 3. That would immediately kill our Mollusk Mages. And the Shattered Shell would be fine because of the Siren of the Sea on it. I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. In one sense, we almost don't care because we have Sharpen. And when we put Sharpen on our champion, then we should be fine. I don't know. I'm tempted very much to turn it on. Let's turn it on. We need that gold so that we can take cards out of our deck. We can spend it to remove cards. We're certainly going at the top this time, so that the rage on these units doesn't, like, ticks down once. Also, it allows us to play Foregone Powers at the bottom, which I think is quite nice. So Razor Sharp Edge is kind of bad. Kind of bad. We certainly don't want you to have less health than you already do. So we're not going to play it. We're going to play a Foregone Power. Actually, do we want to play the Razor Sharp Edge on you? We put it on the champion kills one and does the revenge effect. Okay, never mind. Razor Sharp Edge on the champion. Oh, the incant, right. Forgot about the incant. I thought for a second that that was the Cultivate that gave it the extra stats. It was not. It was the Incant. Alright, currently you're only losing 1. Only 1 health. How about that? That's quite nice, and you're killing everything. I guess we could put the Mollusk Mage behind the Shattered Shell. How about that? Because then it will never attack anything. And therefore it won't die. How about that? Oh, that does mean that the Cultivate affects the Mollusk Mage instead of the Shattered Shell. Interesting. Interesting problem with that approach. We want to get rid of the Train Steward. I'm going to keep the other Mollusk Mage in the deck, just in case we have to replace our Mollusk Mage. So let's play the Train Steward, just let it die. Let's play the Restore on somebody. Kind of doesn't matter who, just that we place it on somebody. And then the Foregone Power goes at the bottom so that it kills this one. Great. Now our Shattered Shell doesn't have much health, but we have Restores. Also, the Ice Tornado is excellent. I guess we play Ice Tornado, because we play Ice Tornado, the Split Anvil makes everything else free. And then we restore both of you and put Sharpen on our champion. still don't want the Pyrogrow. We'll probably remove the Pyrogrow. So we want to play Sharpen first, because Sharpen will make things free. Sharpen you. Now we've got, I guess, restores. You could have a restore, and then you could have another restore. And then we play a Foregone Power, and the Mollusk Mage, because we don't want to draw it again. Great. And then I think we win. We do win. How about that? Our champion doesn't even die. Great. So far, so good. The problem is that we have more cards than we started with. We need to go down to 10. Alright, we certainly don't want any of those. We already have our Sharpen. I don't think we want 2 Sharpens. Let's skip for money. Helical Chrysalis is pretty good, especially with the Mollusk Mages. Is that the other major damage spell that we want? Is a Helical Chrysalis. Seems not bad. Seems not bad. Let's take it. It's a 2 cost, that's important. We don't want a 3 cost spell. Okay, we went up to 18 cards again. I'm failing to make the cards go down. Let's go to the right. I think what we want to do first is see what's in the Merchant of Magic. Keepstone is kind of pointless in a 10-card deck. Power Stone is not bad, but probably all we do is purge a card. Let's look at the Concealed Caverns next. No, let's look at the Awoken unit. Okay, so we're skipping these. We already have what we want here. As much as I would like Steel Singer, I still want it. We're going to skip it again. And then Concealed Caverns. Please don't give me a card. This is a card, isn't it? At least it's a draft pick. Because a draft pick means that we could... You know what? I don't want a card. We just leave. That's what we do. Don't give me a card. I'm aware that I probably could have picked one and then skipped it for the money, but we just left. Frozen probably doesn't matter when you've got a 10-card deck. Trader's Quill probably doesn't matter because we're probably not going to have consume cards. And then Kinstone Totem. I don't think I've ever played with this one. We have the Foregone Powers. But why would we take a Kinstone Totem with those? Having trouble thinking about why we would do that. So honestly, I don't think any of these help the challenge, so we're going to skip the money. We need lots of money to remove cards. Let's remove more cards. So, remove another card. We're going to remove another Train Steward. And then we can't afford the next removal. Just yet. We need more money to afford the next removal. We still have more cards than we started with. I'm going the wrong direction. Daedalus the Professor. The constructed explosives have Damage Shield. Probably not the most important because we don't have a lot of damaging spells. So the constructed explosive is at the top. We want to set up at the bottom. The Sentient will go in the front. We'll put our Shattered Shell behind. That will kill all of those except for you. And we can restore. Restore will help. And then I still don't think we Pyrogrow. No, there's no reason to Pyrogrow. We can basically afford our deck. So we just Foregone Power, and you are still a problem. We haven't killed you yet. There's our Mollusk Mages. We want to play one of those. Let's play a Mollusk Mage. A Mollusk Mage in the back, of course. And then, now that we've played the Mollusk Mage, the Restore is much better, but we should play Sharpen first. Great. Now we've got the Restore, we can play the Restore. And I see no reason not to put the Razor Sharp Edge on our Shattered Shell. So now we're killing the bottom, no problem. You are still a problem. We'll have to deal with you another turn. Not quite sure how we're going to do that yet. Maybe with an Ice Tornado? We'll see. We do have an Ice Tornado. We could actually do that with the Helical Chrysalis and play the Ice Tornado at the bottom. The Ice Tornado does so much damage. Alright, so play the Ice Tornado first. That makes everything else free. Then we play the Helical Chrysalis, kill that one. And now we play a Restore on our champion. We play Razor Sharp Edge on the Shattered Shell again. And then a Foregone Power for the Incant. Great. We get our Ice Tornado again, which means we can play it again. And I think we should. And now we've got a whole bunch of free cards, so we'll play a Helical Chrysalis, that'll kill you. We'll play the Restores. And Razor Sharp Edge yet again. I think the Razor Sharp Edges are really not so bad. They're certainly not as bad as the other things in my deck. So I think we might keep the Razor Sharp Edges. Let's play the Sharpen. That makes the Razor Sharp Edges free. They got a lot better because of the Incant, because this removes health, but the Incant adds health. So the Shattered Shell with Razor Sharp Edges is really nice. Let's play the Mollusk Mage somewhere else so that it dies. I guess we'll play it at the top, just in case we need to deal with things. Alright, and now we're at Daedalus the Professor. Daedalus the Professor, we are already winning against you. Click end turn and win. Great. Another one down. I think our deck is pretty decent. There is at least one thing that I want, and it's Unleash the Wildwood. Unleash the Wildwood is basically what I wanted. Or Cycle of Life. Let me think about that. We don't want Awoken's Rail Spike, because we just don't need it. I want something that allows my champion to survive more. The champion currently has 40 health. I guess the champion will have more health later. So Unleash the Wildwood is probably what we want, because it will make our champion survive a lot. So Unleash the Wildwood, go up to 18 cards. Now we certainly don't need these. Certainly not those, so let's skip them. Do we want to draw one card extra each turn? Probably. We don't need the Light of Seraph. Our units that we're going to keep fit on the bottom floor, or well, any floor, because we're in Covenant Rank 1. We don't need Fell's Remorse because we've got the Split Anvil, which means I think we play Herzl's Compound. Malika. How interesting. How interesting. Okay, so at the end of turn, deal 4 damage to friendly units. That would basically kill my Mollusk Mages. Enemy units enter with damage shield 1. How bad is that? Somewhat bad. When a non-champion unit dies, it is purged. I mean, it's a way to get rid of a Train Steward, but can we confidently keep our Mollusk Mages alive? I'm not sure. At the end of turn, deal 4 damage to friendly units. Seems like it could actually be just fine. Especially with the Cultivate 1 from our champion. However, the Mollusk Mages die. The Mollusk Mages basically die every turn. The large trinket. The large trinket, I think, is not so bad. And enemy units enter with damage shield 1. How bad is that? It means that our shattered shell doesn't necessarily kill things. But we might be able to kill them as they go up. So I'm thinking the Corrupted Cloud is not something we can take. I think the Broken Wheel is something we actually want. I don't know what the later artifact does, the better artifact. I completely forget. So we're going to take that one. I think that Judgmental Fittings are possible, and therefore I want to take them. And I think we have to survive two battles. I mean, we haven't had any damage on our Pyre yet, so let's take it. And then I think this one would be bad. The Corrupted Cloud. I think that would kill our Mollusk Mages, and we don't actually want the Mollusk Mages to die. Not really. We want to keep the Mollusk Mages, so we don't take that one. Now, we have to go to the right because that's where the Unstable Vortex is. So, we go to the right. The duplicate is kind of terrible. It's kind of terrible. Even though we have an Ice Tornado that's amazing, I don't think we can go the duplicate route. Let's look at a Stygian unit first. We're going to skip those. Let's look at the Divine Temple. Purge Stone. Ooh, Purge Stone is a way to get rid of cards. So we want to engage Pact a Mollusk Mage. Let's do that. Engage Pact 1 Mollusk Mage. We are going to have so many Pact Shards. Alright, 1 Mollusk Mage gets sacrificed onto the other Mollusk Mage. Wonderful. We now have a Super Mollusk Mage. What do we do next? We actually do want the Purge Stone. Going up to 100 Pact Shards seems kinda bad. Let's upgrade our champion. So Revenge Cultivate 2 is pretty nice. Starting with Spikes 10 is also really nice, though. Especially with Judgmental Fittings, because then they take damage from the spikes, and our sweep unit takes them out. Kind of like the Spikes 10. The only downside is the less health. I'm gonna go Bristling. And then we remove 2 cards. I think we're going to remove Pyregrow, because we basically never want to play it. So remove that one. And then probably the Train Steward. No, we don't remove the Train Steward because we can kill the Train Steward. And then it automatically gets purged. Neat. So what's the next one that we get rid of? Probably a Foregone Power. So now we've got 15 cards. One of those is destined to die. We remove 2 more there at that Unstable Vortex. So that's 3 that get removed. We've got another Unstable Vortex which removes 2 more. That's 5 that get removed. And we have another Unstable Vortex. Alright. So we can actually afford to add another card with a duplicate. And we don't need this Purge Stone. That's kind of nice. So let's duplicate probably the Helical Chrysalis. I mean, obviously you want to duplicate the Ice Tornado, but the problem with that is we couldn't play the second one. Whereas if we duplicate Helical Chrysalis, we can play that every turn when we play 1 Ice Tornado. It's unfortunate that the Helical Chrysalis isn't already upgraded, but I think we duplicate it. So now we've got 16 cards. That's the same number of cards as we started with. We have remained stable. Stable, which is not good enough. Non-boss enemy units get +6 attack. With Unleash the Wildwood, I'm probably okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Might hurt our Pyre because of Judgmental Fittings. And we do want the money. Alright, the first couple turns are the problem turns. Ooh, you have Damage Shield and Spell Shield? That's kind of horrible for us. Especially because we can't play the Ice Tornado this turn. So we're not going to start at the bottom. Do we start at the top? We're really not relying on Foregone Powers anymore to deal with units, so I think we do start at the top. The reason to start at the bottom before was primarily the Foregone Powers. So you go there, you go here. And then we play the Sharpen to make the Razor Sharp Edge free. We don't play Foregone Power because we want the Ice Tornado next turn. And we do play Razor Sharp Edge because it's good. Okay, great. Now we've got the Ice Tornado. We can play the Ice Tornado, probably kill the Collector, hopefully. Hopefully kill the Collector. So we play the Ice Tornado in the center floor. Cool. It had Piercing. I forgot about the Piercing. We can't afford the Mollusk Mage now. I did not think about that. Probably should have played the Mollusk Mage. Oh well. We also need to play the Train Steward so that it dies and gets purged from the deck. How much do I want you to die right now? I kind of want to kill the Collector. That's why I want to play my Helical Chrysalises. So let's play a Helical Chrysalis, and then a Helical Chrysalis. And then we can do a Foregone Power at the end of the turn. So Unleash the Wildwood here, and another Razor Sharp Edge, and then we Foregone Power you to kill you. Alright, now that we've got the Collector, we can stop spending all of that resources on the Collector. We do want to play Ice Tornado. Ice Tornado could go on either floor just fine. I guess we do it in the center again. And then we do things at the top. So we can restore as many times as we want. You've got Regen 3. Don't know if that will ever matter. Razor Sharp Edge on you again. Foregone Power for the Incant. Alright. I think our top is strong. We want to play the Mollusk Mage this turn, so the Mollusk Mage definitely gets played. That's number one. We play the Mollusk Mage. Then what? You're already dying, you're dealing a little bit of damage to my unit. Kinda doesn't matter. Let's play a Helical Chrysalis on a different floor. And which floor is that? Maybe this one, because you're a little bit of a problem currently. And we at least get rid of the Spell Shield. Sure. Unleash the Wildwood up here, of course. Razor Sharp Edge is still good. We don't get to play the Helical Chrysalis. We don't get to play the Train Steward. So, Foregone Power, I think we use that for the Incant. And we do need to play our Train Steward. Let me remember that I do need to play the Train Steward. We don't get to do that this turn. Okay, currently you are not dying. We can probably change that with a Helical Chrysalis. Alright, now you're dying. The other one doesn't die. We don't really care too much about that. Unleash the Wildwood goes here. The restores are so much worse when we have Unleash the Wildwood. It's kind of why I got Unleash the Wildwood, so that we could remove the restores and be perfectly fine. I guess we continue... We continue the path where we play the Foregone Power just for the incant. Alright, there's the boss. We want to play the Train Steward. The Train Steward, not the Ice Tornado. We still want to play the Ice Tornado, but I really want to play this Train Steward so that it dies. So Train Steward goes down here. That means that we don't get to play many spells this turn. I think the spells that we do play, and you get armor 10 for every spell that we play. It's kind of icky. So what spells do we play? We could play Helical Chrysalis, Foregone Power. It might discard Ice Tornado, which would be sad. Where do I do this? I think we do this here. But I kind of want to do it at the top because of the incant. Let's do it at the top because of the incant. And then I still play Razor Sharp Edge. But I don't think I play Foregone Power because I really want that Ice Tornado next turn. Alright, our champion goes down to 3. Luckily, we have Unleash the Wildwood in our deck. We get to play the Ice Tornado this turn. That did a fair amount. We get to play Unleash the Wildwood to heal our champion all the way to the top. And then restore him a couple times so he's got the regen, if that matters. Razor Sharp Edge you again. And then Helical Chrysalis, the boss, and Foregone Power, the boss. Alright. We should be winning. We are winning. Our champion is dying. The broken wheel does not affect us if the champion dies, but I still don't like the champion dying when we have the broken wheel. There we go. Now the champion's not dying. We did lose a Train Steward, which is good. We're down to 15 cards. I think we certainly don't want these. As much as I like Engraft generally, I think that with a 10-card deck, you don't fit Engraft in. Skip. Ancient Synergy is kind of bad with a 10-card deck. And then Cuddle Hex is kind of pointless. Alright, we skip these two. We kind of want this artifact, but we don't want the other two things. So I guess we're going right. I guess that gives us a Merchant of Steel, which we do want, because we haven't upgraded our units at all. Alright, let's go to the right. Let's click the Forgotten Boons. Let's look at the Divine Temple. The Seek Stone is kind of pointless. We can't engage Pact anymore. And Twin Stone, I don't think we care about. Not really. Okay. Leave that. The Merchant of Steel. Large Stone. The problem with Large Stone is the +1 capacity. Otherwise, I'm fine with it. The Heartstone is probably a good idea, though. Let's leave that and go to the Concealed Caverns. See what the Concealed Caverns has for us. It's a merchant who is giving us cards. What? We don't want cards. I refuse your cards. Alright, 2 Concealed Caverns have been completely pointless for us. Merchant of Steel. I think the Heartstone is important. The Heartstone is important on Mollusk Mage, because this one has the Siren of the Sea incant, and this one doesn't have anything. And then we purge a card. I'm still spending money purging cards, right? Yes. Yes, I am. Probably only once, though. The regens have gotten worse. The Foregone Powers have also gotten worse. Let's get rid of a Foregone Power. Okay. And leave there. Okay, next one. That was a pretty simple set of changes. They restore all health when they move up a floor. Kind of doesn't matter if we start at the top. and expect them to just all die at the top. Sure, I want a random artifact. Oh right, they all have damage shield. Forgot about that. That's annoying for them to have damage shield. Well, anyway. Sentient goes at the top. We also have our Shattered Shell and our Mollusk Mage, which I think I'm going to put in the middle? No, let's put it in the front. Or in the back, I mean. And then we do Razor Sharp Edge our Shattered Shell. I'm very happy about the spikes on our champion. I think the spikes on our champion really made it so the Judgmental Fittings actually works for us, instead of just being absolutely terrible. Okay, Collector is dying because the Mollusk Mage is killing it. How about that? Let's do the Ice Tornado in the middle, I think. Or the bottom? The middle has 2 of the 12 guys, which are kind of bad. But the bottom has this Clipped Guardian in the back. In some ways I want to deal with the middle because the middle is the thing that's coming up next. But let's actually hit the bottom. If it hits the Clipped Guardian, what do we do? Well, let's hit the bottom. Cool. Alright. That was pretty nice. Let's Helical Chrysalis this one to get rid of it. I know that makes the rest of them stronger. Foregone Power is probably going at the bottom, but first we do Sharpen and Restores. For all of the incant value that we get out of that. And then Foregone Power at the bottom. Okay, we play Helical Chrysalis first. Where are we going to play it? I guess it's kind of bad at the bottom, so we play it at the top. Kill that one. Now, we restore a whole bunch of times. We unleash the Wildwood because we can. We play Razor Sharp Edge because that's still good for us. And then we Foregone Power. We could do that somewhere else, but it doesn't seem like it has any beneficial effect, so let's do it at the top for the incant. Alright, those are scary. Probably a good thing to have an Ice Tornado to take out those. These are also scary, but they don't do enough damage to scare me, I guess. You're not dying yet. That's interesting. I think that will change by the end of the turn. But I believe that we really want the Ice Tornado at the bottom to take out those 2 guys, hopefully. Oh, it took out exactly the front 3. Now, Razor Sharp Edge goes on you, Razor Sharp Edge goes on you, Restore goes on our champion, Sharpen goes on our champion, and you're barely not dying? How interesting. We could play the Foregone Power to kill you. So maybe we take out the bottom? Taking out the bottom seems pointless. Let's hurt you. Hurt you. And then Foregone Power at the top so that you die from the Frostbite. Actually, you don't die from the Frostbite because we just incanted our Shattered Shell. Okay, we got our Ice Tornado, which is good because look at the top. That's scary. Let's reduce that by a lot. I don't see any reason to do anything to that guy, so let's just play all of the spells at the top. That means that we will use the maximum incant value. Alright, we do need to kill you before you kill my Shattered Shell. That's the most important thing to happen in this battle, by the way. The fact that you have the damage shield is very annoying there. The Helical Chrysalis goes first. So we do that first. The Foregone Power essentially kills this one, which means future Helical Chrysalises will be better. Man, I'm worried about this one now. Alright, well, restore you. If we lose our Shattered Shell, we will be in a much, much worse situation. I think the Razor Sharp Edge is still very good, because the more damage we can get out of him, sooner the better. And then Foregone Power down here to kill that one. The Ice Tornado is annoying because it's probably going to kill this one. But still. Ice Tornado. You deal 7 times 5, that's 35. 35 is not great for me. By the way, this is non-boss units. Alright, so Helical Chrysalis takes out the spell shield, or the damage shield, and then we can play Unleash the Wildwood, play the Restores, and then Fear, actually, Fear, because I don't know that our units survive. We might need to replace all of our units. Oh no, our units survive. Great. How about that? They do survive. In fact, our champion isn't even dying anymore. Alright, good. I feared, though. I did fear. The Capricious Reflection is kind of pointless, because we're going to add so few cards. I think rather than like the one card that we're going to maybe add, getting a random upgrade, let's just skip this for the money. We got 25 money from that trial. How sad. And then we're definitely not taking those. How about these? The Ice Storm. Ooh, the Ice Storm. The Ice Storm with a Super Mollusk Mage? Yeah, Ice Storm with Super Mollusk Mage. Let's take it. Alright, we're back up to 15 cards. We need to remove 5. You only won because I went easy on you. I mean, perhaps. The Cracked Helmet. Damage spells get piercing. That means that the Helical Chrysalises and the Ice Storms all get piercing. Seems nice. Cracked Helmet is great. Friendly non-morsel units get endless. Kind of unnecessary, but let's take it. And depart. Alright, we have to go left because left has the Unstable Vortex. So we're going left. The Pyre Health does nothing for us. The Unstable Vortex removes 2 cards. We don't have the Train Steward anymore. That's good. I think the Foregone Power is still the worst card in our deck. And then what? What's the next worst card in our deck? Probably Restore. But I'm starting to think of what are we actually going to keep at the end of the day. We're probably going to remove a Razor Sharp Edge, but for now we're removing a Restore. We need to remove 3 more cards. Thornstone. Ooh, Thornstone is... How good is that? We can't put it on our champion. All of our units have Endless anyway. Strength Stone could go on the Shattered Shell to start it off with more strength. I don't think the Thornstone is worth it. How many removes are we going to get for free? 2 removes there, 2 removes there. So we get 4 more removes for free. So I don't think I'm going to spend money on removes right now. I think we buy the Strength Stone. I don't know what I would want for the reroll. Actually, I do. I want Frenzy Stone. Let's re-roll for the possibility of Frenzy Stone. Speed Stone is not bad, actually. Speed Stone means our champion doesn't cultivate, but it does mean our champion doesn't die as easily. I don't mind the Speed Stone. Alright, Speed Stone on our Shattered Shell. And then I don't know what I want on the Mollusk Mage. Would it be a Strength Stone? We don't care about Heartstones on the Mollusk Mage anymore. We already did one Heartstone, and that was enough. We don't really care about Quick Stones or Friendly Stones or Immortal Stones. We don't want Large Stones. We don't want Thorn Stones particularly. Sure, Strength Stone it is. You're fully upgraded. And then, now we can leave. And move into the next battle. Fell the Wings of Light. Fell the Wings of Light I recall being bad. The Alabaster Guardians have Spell Shield 5. At least we have Sweep. Do we start at the bottom? Is there any reason to start at the bottom? Oh, you know what? The Spell Shield doesn't do anything because all of my spells have piercing. Haha. Do we start at the bottom? Because... what's the benefit of starting at the bottom? You have Quick? Yeah, we're going to start at the bottom. Now, we only get to play 2 of these spells, not Ice Tornado. I guess it's going to be Razor Sharp Edge and 1 Restore. Okay. Now, we got our Mollusk Mage. We don't get to play Ice Tornado if we play the Mollusk Mage, but that's fine. We'll play the Ice Tornado next turn, potentially. We do get to play Helical Chrysalis or Sharpen. And then any number of things after that. Ooh, the Ice Storm with Piercing. We get to play that. Okay. I think I'm going to play Sharpen. And then we get to play Ice Storm. Nice. And then the Razor Sharp Edge. And then Unleash the Wildwood is going to give you more health, but we'll just kill you with an Ice Tornado or something. So let's take the Incant while we can. I'm going to play the Ice Tornado on this floor to try to kill that guy. Alright, great. We even killed the Alabaster Guardian. Now then, I guess we play all of our spells. Let's start with the Helical Chrysalis, so we kill this one before it gains a lot of armor. I guess it didn't matter because we have Piercing. Alright, well, have to remember the Piercing effect. Sharpen and a couple of Restores. We have the Ice Tornado, which we get to play almost every turn at this point. And then Helical Chrysalis almost kills you. Razor Sharp Edge goes on you again. Ice Storm is better than Helical Chrysalis right now. And then Helical Chrysalis on the boss, Restore, and Unleash the Wildwood. Alright. Going perfectly fine. The Ice Tornado almost kills you. Oh, never mind, it did. The Razor Sharp Edge goes on you. The Sharpen goes here. We don't really get to play... we could play these against the boss, but it does a lot less damage, not on the bottom floor. Especially the Ice Storm. So the Ice Storm basically does nothing against the boss, so let's play it down here. Do the Restores down here, and then Helical Chrysalis could do 50 damage to the boss instead of incanting once. Yeah, that's worth it. Next. We don't get to play all of our spells this turn. So which ones do we play? I guess we don't worry about the Helical Chrysalises because the Sharpen gives a longer lasting effect. And we're going to kill these units pretty easily anyway, so. Especially because we've got Quick. We could play the Ice Tornado in the center. I think that's worth it. Do 180 damage to the boss, and then kill you with those spells. Restore a couple of times for the regen, and then Razor Sharp Edge a couple of times. Alright. Our units are currently dying. Can we cause that to not happen? Well, let's start with the Helical Chrysalis. And then we get Ice Storm, Restore, Restore, Unleash the Wildwood, and Razor Sharp Edge. You know, our champion still dies. That's fine. Great. Next. Channel Song. Channel Song is really bad because, you know, you can imagine it would be great, but only great if you don't draw all of your units in the first turn, which is a common thing that we will do. So Channel Song is definitely not worth it. Spike of the Stygian seems really not worth it, and Spreading Spores doesn't seem worth it either. I think we want to draw more cards again, because currently we draw 7 cards, because our champion allows us to draw a card. So do we get Fell's Remorse instead? I guess we do. Feels weird. We have to go to the left because that's where the Unstable Vortex is. Let's go there. Let's look at our champion upgrades after the Merchant of Magic. So Merchant of Magic, Eternal Stone does nothing. Power Stone we could do on Ice Storm, would be nice. Ember Stone. Ember Stone could go on a Helical Chrysalis to make it so that if we don't draw the Ice Tornado. Seems pointless, actually. Okay, so we're thinking about buying the Power Stone. Let's get some money. Upgrade our champion. The Cultivating 2 gives... Oh, Cultivating 2 gives Cultivate 2. How about that? It also gives more health than this one does. The Bristling gives more spikes. I don't think we really need more spikes. So let's get a little bit more health. And the Cultivate 2 is not bad, it's just the Revenge effect doesn't take effect most of the time. So it doesn't do much. But I think the extra health is good. Unstable Vortex. What are we removing? We're removing the last 2 restores. The last 2 restores go. Now we have an 11-card deck. We're almost down to 10 cards. How about that? Alright, next battle. Enemy units enter with armor 20. Who cares? Who cares? I don't care. Turn that on. Give me some more gold. So this time I do not want to start at the bottom. Let's start at the top this time. So the Sentient and Shattered Shell go at the top. We can play the Helical Chrysalis. Do we play it on you? It does 50 damage. I'm considering not because I want all of the incant as we can get, but I guess we don't really care that much. So, do the 50 damage. Razor Sharp Edge you. Ice Storm up here because 5 damage is not... Oh, we didn't buy the Power Stone. Whoops. We should have bought the Power Stone. I forgot to buy the Power Stone. That was silly. Alright, we're going to play the Mollusk Mage. We're going to play the Ice Tornado here. Kill the Collector, great. And then we play Sharpen, obviously. Razor Sharp Edge. I don't know why I put you in the center. I guess it doesn't matter because he has Quick. Okay, well, at least it doesn't matter, but I don't know why I did it. Then we could deal 50 more damage to one of these. It looks like it's really worthwhile to deal the 50 extra damage, because we don't have our damage up yet. Okay, at the top, we're currently not winning. So we want to play Sharpen because it has a lasting effect, and we want to play one of the Helical Chrysalises. Now you die. And you die quickly, which I guess we kind of didn't want. The Ice Storm is pointless to play elsewhere, so let's play it at the top. Because we didn't put the Power Stone in it. Why didn't I put a Power Stone in my Ice Storm? I do not know. I do not know the answer to this, but I just didn't. Alright, Ice Tornado. Ice Tornado, we play at the top. Great. Do we play other things elsewhere? We kind of want you to get to the top, honestly. The Ice Storm doesn't do anything anywhere else, so we're going to play it at the top. Alright. And then we kind of want you to get there because the Extinguish deals 5 damage, which is actually kind of good for us. But at the same time, we're probably just going to play Helical Chrysalises on you. Let's do it at the bottom then. These two go at the bottom, and then we do our Unleash the Wildwood, Sharpen, Razor Sharp Edge. We're still not dealing enough damage for me to take out the units, though. I'm noticing that. So we start with Ice Tornado so that we can play all the cards. Alright, how about that? Now we can play all the cards. We don't care about that one, you're dying quickly. We do care about Razor Sharp Edge, Sharpen, Razor Sharp Edge, and then the Unleash the Wildwood. The Helical Chrysalises could go here and kill this one and that one. Alright, those two. I think we don't deal enough damage to kill the boss yet, which bothers me. Let's do the Ice Tornado down here. Yeah, I don't think we deal enough damage to kill the boss yet. That bothers me. Maybe we'll get there by the time the boss gets up here. We need to play the Razor Sharp Edges a whole lot. The Sharpen, I like the spikes going on you. Should we play the Sharpen on the back one at this point? Yes, we should. And then the Ice Storm does basically nothing on any floor except the top. Alright, we can do the Ice Tornado here again. That's good. We can play the Ice Storm up here because it doesn't do anything anywhere else. Razor Sharp Edge. The Piercing Helical Chrysalises will go here. Alright. I think we kill the boss now. So we may have needed to play at the top so that we did kill the boss, actually. I'm not completely sure about that, but it kind of seems like it. Alright, now we kill the boss without anybody dying. How do we feel about what we have? Only okay, but we have lots of gold. We don't want any of those, so we skip those. Harness the Titan. Oh, we want Harness the Titan. We definitely want that. Alright, we're taking Harness the Titan. Now we've got a 12-card deck. We have to go to the right. which is unfortunate because the Merchant of Steel doesn't do anything for us. But we're going to the right. Man, I wish I had bought the thing at the last Merchant of Magic. Alright, well we didn't. So, let's see what's in the Divine Temple. Extreme Stone, there we go. Extreme Stone on Ice Storm. We could also get the True Stone and put it on Ice Storm. Get up to 115 back shards. I think that's worthwhile. Let's upgrade that Ice Storm. And then we leave. We need to remove 2 cards. We're going to remove 2 cards. Which 2 cards, though? I don't even know. Is the Sharpen worth removing? Maybe we remove the Sharpen. Is Razor Sharp Edge better than Sharpen? Because what are we doing applying the Sharpen to our champion exactly? Not a whole lot. The Unleash the Wildwood has to stay. The champion and the 2 other minions have to stay. Ice Storm obviously stays. Ice Tornado obviously stays. So we can remove Razor Sharp Edge, Sharpen, or Helical Chrysalis, and we have to remove 2. We could remove one of the Helical Chrysalises. I think we remove Sharpen. Okay, Sharpen gone. And then we have to remove 1 more in order to win the challenge. So, 1 more. Razor Sharp Edge or Helical Chrysalis. I think it should be Helical Chrysalis. I think the Razor Sharp Edge is how we deal with bosses. Because we need all of that attack on that back unit. So we remove a Helical Chrysalis here. Feels bad after adding the Harness the Titan to the deck. But I'm definitely not removing that Harness the Titan. And I think we need the Razor Sharp Edge for the bosses. So Helical Chrysalis goes. Alright, well, interesting choices. We already did everything here, so the only things left are the Merchant of Steel, which we can't do anything except purge cards here. So we've got 1,000 money. What are we gonna buy? I think the Rationing Scales is bad. Yeah, Rationing Scales is pointless. The Titan's Claws is also pointless. So I guess we take Jack Strips and reroll? Well, we're taking Jack Strips no matter what. If we take Titan's Claws and reroll, we should be able to afford everything, right? So we'll buy it because we still get to afford everything. The Thorn Fruit. I think that actually works. Except that we might not want it. Because we might not want to flood our deck with sting spells. we might not mind. Especially because they would have plus 20 magic power. Alright, we're taking Thorn Fruit and Channel Heart. And I guess we're taking Hell's Banners. Those were not the artifacts that we wanted. Okay. Well, we got to the end. I felt pretty good throughout this challenge, and I don't know if I feel good at the end. Let's find out how it goes. Okay, we basically have to start at the top, which is kind of bad with the Rally and Incant. Kind of bad, but we've got to do it. So, let's start at the top. It's unfortunate that we are doing all of the Rally and Incant. We're going to play the Helical Chrysalis here. Do we play it at the top to do more damage to Seraph the Patient? And just Sting at the bottom. Sting at the bottom. I think we play Helical Chrysalis at the top. And Razor Sharp Edge, but not Unleash the Wildwood. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Now, we get to play Harness the Titan. Oh, Harness the Titan. We're going to play that at the top for the Incant. And then I think we play Ice Tornado at the bottom, because I think we're going to try to deal as much damage to Seraph before the Relentless phase as we can. So we do that by doing this. Actually, we could Sting first, do even more damage. Alright, Sting first, Ice Tornado, Ice Storm. Is the Sting worth it? Probably, yeah. I think this is our way to win this fight. As weird as it is. I should be careful not to put too many Stings in my deck. Like, we've got a 9 card deck after I play these two. So maybe we should stop playing Stings after this. Maybe? So that we don't flood the deck with Stings. Oh, the deck gets flooded with Stings anyway. We don't get to choose whether the deck gets flooded with Stings. Right. It gets flooded with Stings no matter what we do. Okay, well, I think that means what we're going to do is Sting, Ice Tornado, Ice Storm, Helical Chrysalis, Sting, Sting. Oh no, you're dying. I just realized that you're dying because of because you've got melee weakness too. Oh, that's not good, is it? That's not good. I just realized how bad that was. Well, now I'm a lot more worried about this battle. Ooh. That's scary. Okay, well, that's where we are. So, since that's where we are going to commit to killing Seraph before the Relentless phase, because we just lost our champion. Oh, our champion has Endless. I forgot. The cracked helmet. No, not the cracked helmet. The Immortality Potion gives our champion Endless. Okay, actually, no problem at all. Now, we don't have Harness the Titan this time. That's in the next hand. So we're just going to play the Ice Tornado here. The Ice Storm. We should play a Sting first. Yeah, alright. Now this one. And then we Sting, Sting, Helical Chrysalis, and then the rest go at the top. You having melee weakness is kind of funny. Alright. Ooh, Seraph the Patient at the top again. Killing my champion again. Well, we start with Harness the Titan. And then we Sting, so we get rid of that one. What's the worst Sting that we have? This 55 damage Sting is the worst one that we have. Alright. And then we win. How about that? 3 waves remaining. 6-turn boss rush. Did not expect it to go that well. At all. Did not expect that to go that well. So, in the Last Divinity fight, which floor do we set up on? I think we set up on floor 2. Because then we get the most out of the Cultivate. Yeah, I think we start on floor 2, because we're going to Cultivate 2 twice every turn because of the Last Divinity hitting our champion. And then... do we even bother hitting you guys? Or do we just go after this? I mean, I guess the Helical Chrysalis exactly kills this one, which is pretty nice. Let's do that. And then we'll deal with you guys next turn. We have an Ice Tornado for 1. So we can deal with you next turn. Not to mention, you kill the back 2, no problem. Yeah. Okay, we're going to go directly after the boss again. Hit that boss. Hit that boss a lot. We have to deal 3,000 something damage. We have Harness the Titan, so that's what we start with. And then we hit with a Sting, the worst Sting. And then I guess the next one that's the worst is probably the Helical Chrysalis, but we have to play the Ice Tornado in order to make the rest of these free. So we do that next. Do we play the Helical Chrysalis here? It exactly kills that one. Good enough for me. Exact kills are worth it in my book. The Ice Storm takes you out. We'll have a Sting next turn that will take you out, so we don't bother playing it. Unleash the Wildwood, of course, and then Sting the boss. Alright. I think we're going to win this handily, now that I see what our deck is capable of. So, Harness the Titan. And then we want to play the Stings, the worst Sting first. The worst Sting is this one. And then the next worst is this one. And then we play the Ice Tornado, which makes everything else free. Helical Chrysalis, Ice Storm, Sting, the Razor Sharp Edges. And we have to do 1,700 damage left to the boss. It's going to be a little bit harder as it goes on to deal as much damage to the boss every turn, but not too much harder. So what's our worst Sting? The worst Sting is a 65 damage Sting? No, it's this one. Oh, you know what? The Thorn Fruit stops putting stings in my hand once I draw 10 cards. Oh, so we're going to have this many cards. How many is that? We're going to have exactly 10 cards. Because we draw 10 cards and then the Thorn Fruit can't put a sting in my hand. So we're actually not getting flooded by stings. That's helpful. That is actually very helpful. Let's play the Ice Tornado next. And then I guess the Ice Storm. And then we just Sting and Helical Chrysalis and the rest of it. Cool. So, we have to do about 1,000 damage to the boss. We get Harness the Titan again, as we do every turn. I think playing the Ice Tornado now is just fine. It's interesting how little damage it dealt to you. Alright. Let's do this one next. Yeah. Because then we can almost exactly kill you. We've got a 65 Sting and a 70 Sting. Alright. Then the rest goes up against the boss. Wonderful. We only have to do 200 something damage to the boss. I think we can manage that. I think we can manage that no problem at all. We can even do it this turn. I'm sure of it. Let's do Ice Tornado. And then Helical Chrysalis. And then Sting, and then another Sting, and then we finish with a gigantic Ice Storm. Great. Alright, that run went very well. We did get down to 10 cards, even though I kept adding cards. We got a 4-turn boss rush on the Last Divinity, and I think it was a 6-turn boss rush on Seraph. Went pretty well. We got the Ragtag Bunch, the achievement I was going for. Win a run with 10 or fewer cards. And we got a new Divine Victory, by the way. Runtime. Oh, that was my fastest victory. How about that? I didn't know there was a speedrun category in these particular records, but apparently there is. And our win streak increased to 1 because the last time we tried a different a different challenge run and I failed it on Covenant Rank 1. Alright, also a 67,935, which is a pretty strong score. It felt good. I mean, we did get a lot of turns extra at the last 2 battles. Alright, that's it for this time. Next time we're doing Covenant Rank 25. Let's see how I do on that. In this run, we got a new Divine win with the Awoken Stygian. That means I have a Divine win with all 5 clan combinations with Awoken as the primary clan. I also earned a new achievement, but did not master any new cards. On the right, I am featuring Seraph the Patient and the Last Divinity, because I defeated both of these bosses significantly before their relentless phases. Take that, you late game bosses. On the left, I'm featuring Mollusk Mage, because I highly enjoyed creating my Super Mollusk Mage. And by the end, this was contributing more damage than my ultra beefed up Shattered Shell. Speaking of that sweep unit, it gained tons of attack from 2 razor sharp edges that I kept in the deck. The downside of razor sharp edge was entirely mitigated by the incantability on that unit. For artifacts, I simply must feature Split Anvil, which I picked up at the very beginning and heavily influenced my strategy, as well as every spell that I considered including. It also reaches my 10 battle threshold this run. Jackstrips also reaches that 10 battle threshold, and Jackstrips probably had 0 effect on this run. But I had tons of money at the end, so I bought it. Check out my tracking sheet for more statistics, link in the video description. New episodes every Saturday, and thanks for watching.